I always want to ask this when we have people on like you or Wendigoon. Do you personally have an experience that you think was supernatural or unexplained?
Yes, absolutely. And it's one of those ones that's it's not like anything super intense. It's very like almost like Ghost Adventures level, but I remember I was playing Manhunt with my buddies. We were probably 18 because we didn't stop doing that until college. I wish I could go back. I miss those days. But we had a neighborhood, like 6 houses that belonged to all of our families. And we would just play out in those backyards. And there was this one abandoned house that was right next to my buddy Tommy's place. And nobody ever went in the yard because it was trespassing and whatever. One night I decided I was going to hide back there. And I'd watch everybody kind of run past me. I'm like, all right, I'm definitely alone back here. And as I had been walking in to the backyard, there was a plastic lawn chair on the driveway. And I just remember like taking note of that and continuing along. I'm hiding in the corner and I'm looking into the opposite yard, not paying attention to what's behind me. And I just hear something, like scatter across the ground. And I turn around behind me and the chair is like across the driveway. And also at this point, it occurred to me that it felt a little chillier than it had 5 minutes ago. And we all thought this house was haunted. We'd always kind of had that vibe about it. It was always very unsettling to be near it. And so, of course, I turn around and I'm like, I'll just tell the ghost to fuck off and go back to my business. So being 17, 18, that's exactly what I did. I yell, hey.
We went straight to ghost, not fox or cat.
Oh, yeah.
Or breeze.
It was way too big of a chair.
The breeze is adding up real. It's chilly.
It wasn't a breeze. It wasn't a breeze. It got colder.
I got 3 votes.
But no, but that wasn't that. Why did that computer just turn on?
I don't mean to ruin the story, but Kyle, one time I used to keep chapstick in my pocket. Yeah. And then it wasn't there.
Fuck! Demon!
Woody, did I ever tell you this happened just last night. I wasn't that tired.
Where's this going?
I closed my eyes for a split second. 10 hours went by.
Fuck! Aliens!
You explain that.
I can't
so we all laugh. We all think it's very funny. Yes. It's hopping to the ghost thing. The part is I yell fuck off to the ghost, and I to this day I swear it. I mean this. I heard every door in the house slam shut. And I
the breeze! 4 for 4!
I look up in the window. I look up in the window in the very upper, the attic window, and I'm like, and I
you do not want to take this to court with me, sir.
I saw a person. I heard all the doors slam. That's the one that comes to mind first out of all of them.
I wish that I had
spooky
seen something.
Experience.
Like my whole childhood was spent watching supernatural, like clickbait shit. Before there were clicks, all those Fox News shows that were like. Every commercial break, they were just about to show you Bigfoot's pussy. Like
Nazi aliens and how true it definitely is.
I'm talking about before that. This is pre-cable. Or pre-me having cable. This is when Fox would have these little like supernatural specials, and they talk about demons and ghosts and ghosts and whatnot. And I wanted it. Yeah, demon gooses.
Yeah, goose.
Okay. So nature's just demons. Regular Canadian geese.
Like I'm open to it, and if I ever seen anything, I would be open enough to it to be like, oh shit, I think that's a warlock. I think I just saw one. We got one now, but that's never happened, and I don't know. Like I've been in like abandoned buildings, and I've spent so much time in the woods, like thousands of hours in the woods, and I've just never seen anything that I couldn't be like, Fox. The breeze.
My mind is completely closed to ghosts. I think it's absolute bullshit that there's
closed.
Never been one. I hereby challenge every ghost watching this show to come at me, you pussy fucks. Bring it, you ghost.
You know what? If I were
nothing will happen.
If I were like the way you said that you yelled out,
sports injury, because.
No, not with a sports injury.
No, you have to do
Woody's being assaulted by orthopedic demons.
Infested with them.
Yeah, you need to chant the meniscus prayer so that you're safe. What I think you said that you like fuck you, demon or ghost or whatever. Yeah. I think because that is just gonna, if the ghost is real, it wants to upset you, it wants to scare you, right? And so I think that's not actually the way to do it, is you don't shout them down. What does a demon not want? some fucking loser who's like obsessed with demons. And so like if you start acting like, oh, are you there, Lord Bill? Are you there, Lord Beelzebub? I was playing with my Ouija board and sacrificing cats, and then he's gonna be like, oh God. It's one of these ones. You know what? I'm gonna find someone easy to scare. It's a fan. Like that's
be an annoying fan to your demon, and he'll be gone.
Yeah,
It's
with a Ouija board.
Get in that demon's
Sign my
DMs.
soul.
Always be in his DMs, pestering him.
Be a Ouija.
Yeah, get a Ouija board. I remember as a kid, like it's because like I went to church and stuff. My mom was like, "You can't play with the Ouija board." And it was never in my head like, I want to play with it. Because I remember even seeing like the Hasbro commercials being like, that is the lamest toy. Mm-hmm. There's no score. How am I supposed to play this? Like, I don't care about that. But she was always like, don't you bring one of those home. And I'm like, it's not a problem. I have no money or ride. Like, I'm not going to make it out. I'm 8. Like, I remember like, I don't know. She would tell me like, "Don't play this at your friends' houses," and I'm like, "What sort of losers do you think I'm running with?"
What year was
you're
this?
9 years old? Don't ever drive a Ford.
This was probably 1998, and so it was like in the middle of like they were saying that Pokemon was demonic at the time, and like I knew that was
90s,
silly and stupid.
The 90s religious
the religious scare, all that nonsense.
Luckily, was born after.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, and I just always remember like in my head, I'm like, "Oh, those idiots thinking that Alakazam and Charizard are demonic." But in my head always I was like, but that Ouija board thing, they seem like really upset by this. It was like way later in life that I gave it more thought, and I was like, oh, it's like kids pretending. Like, or usually I would imagine the most mature child manipulating it for the fear of others, right?
Yeah.
When I was in college, they they would do little seances in the dorms and stuff. Someone would break out a Ouija board. I actually don't think I ever did one, but I'd hear about it and stuff. And the deal is like 6 people put their hand on that little Ouija thing. Mm-hmm. None of them claimed to be the one that initiated it towards the letter, but it doesn't take much for one person to make the slightest movement on this thing and everyone else to think a spirit is moving it. And
I did see something
with
Ouija
like boards, that. It's very much like a collective, like psychological thing where it starts moving in one direction. Everyone's like, oh, it's going here. And you just kind of all have the same response to it.
I remember there's one guy, he was on my swim team. His name was Dante. And they were asking the spirit questions about him. And all the answers were like the ones that would hurt his feelings. Yeah. And he was very hurt. It wrecked him. And to this day, I don't know if it wrecked him because he felt like the ghost had an issue with him, or my theory that he realized 6 people had an issue with him.
Yeah. I'm going with theory number 2.
Yeah. Theory number 2 seems a bit more.
Although black people believe in ghosts
really happened.
4 times more than their Caucasian partners.
We got to pump those numbers up, guys.
4 times more often black people believe in ghosts.
I'm just picturing a guy like, they're like, is Dante gay? And he's like, and the other people are like, oh no, it's going towards yes. Yeah. I mean, like I saw the same thing. Like you're right with the pressure thing. It's got little tiny pressure points. So you're pushing down. You're not really pushing down. It'd be like 4 of us all trying to push down on an ice hockey puck on the ice all at once. It's going to move. Yeah. Like it has to.
It had like little, not lubricated feet, but like, I don't know what to call them. Teflon feet.
Yeah. Slippery.
Like,
little gliders.
Non-stick.
Gliders. I like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it just makes it prone to sort of moving around on the board.
No, I like it.
I've never taken most of the stories I hear about Ouija boards too seriously. It's it's always been and for me, my field of study, I went to school for medieval studies. I got a minor in religious studies, and kind of folklore and demonology and all of that has always been interesting to me. So that was something that I looked into a ton. And what I found was with a lot of the demonology stuff, the idea that just using a Ouija board is going to summon some sort of you're going to get like Apollyon hanging out in your living room doesn't really track with any of even the established demonology lore from thousands and thousands of years ago. But what does happen is if you go in there and you go in with somebody who has the intention of summoning something, that's where the possibility works its way in terms of the actual belief system behind this stuff. Intent is far more important in demonology than
if I thought I could raise a demon, I would.
but you don't really think you can. You don't really believe it. And so like in the thought of people who studied demonology, they'd be like, well, you didn't want the demon.
That theory is often why I thought that my magic powers weren't working.
You didn't believe enough.
If I just believed more, I would fly. I'll try it again.
You're just a heretic.
No, I like that theory. I like that that's why magic doesn't work, except for a small group of people who are stupid enough to believe in magic. So all wizards are just morons.
Something interesting about like, you know, the term demon and all of that. A lot of people have like this Hollywood idea of what that means, that it's some sort of like evil spirit, or I think in the TV show Supernatural, they make the argument that it's a human soul that's been twisted to be evil or promised some sort of power. In the Bible, you know, the term demon doesn't actually, there's no term for demon in Hebrew. You have to get into the Greek, the Septuagint, so the Greek translation of the Old Testament, or into the New Testament where they're also writing it down in Greek. And then you get the word daimon, which is the one that actually refers to this. And even in Greek mythology, this is a class between God and man. So in Judaism and Christianity, demons are usually referenced by a term similar to like evil spirit. And what you come to conclude as you actually go in and make, you know, these deeper readings of some of these, I don't want to call them esoteric, but some of the less upfront books, like in Genesis, it's very much like God said, let there be light. And then you get to like Deuteronomy or Numbers where they start.